Hey, good morning. This is Shimon, Niren here. If you remember last year, I was part of the Torah Tours team that came to visit your community. It was really a positive experience for all of us on the team, and we really hope everyone is doing well. So, disclaimer, this is the first type of these messages that I'm doing. I've never actually recorded myself as part of a Devar Torah. So, bear with me if I have to pause in between or if it doesn't flow as smoothly as I would have liked it to be. But today I want to share a quick word on prayer, and I'm going to entitle this little snippet, Lessons from Leah. Just a few weeks ago, Rabbi Kanofsky reached out to our team to see if anyone had time to send out a quick video for your shul, so this is what I got. So I was privileged to study in Eretz Yisrael, in Israel, for a couple years, right after graduating high school. And I had the tremendous privilege of getting close to a very important rabbi in the old city of Jerusalem. That's Rabbi Chizkiah Nebenzal, who's currently the chief rabbi of the old city. He's really a tremendous figure who he is. He leads the entire city with warmth and with love, and is very well respected. When I went to visit Israel just 2 years ago, he shared this message, which I want to share with you. And this is going to be called Lessons from Leah. We all know that there are three matriarchs of the Jewish nation. Four actually. Sarah, Rachel, Leah, and I am missing one. Rebecca. And they all brought to the table tremendous attributes which we can aspire to learn from, of kindness, compassion, of prayer. So I want to focus today a little bit on Rachel and Leah, Rachel and Leah. And we often talk about Rachel, about her tremendous sacrifice that she made. So we know that Jacob was destined to marry Rachel from the beginning, but he was tricked into marrying Leah first. And in order not to embarrass her sister, Rachel gave over the rights to her sister to marry Jacob first, upon which she married him second. So many people speak about this tremendous act which Rachel did by not embarrassing her sister. But we often forget about how great of a person Leah was in her own respect. So my rabbi in Israel, who I mentioned, Rabbi Chizkiah Nebenzal, pointed something out remarkable, which I never noticed beforehand. If we look at who comes out of which tribes come out of Leah, we find something remarkable. All of the tribe of Judah comes out from Leah. This includes all of the future Jewish kings, as well as the future Mashiach for the third Beis HaMikdash. It should come soon. On top of this, all of the Leviim come out of Leah. On top of this, all of the Kohanim come out of Leah. And we don't find these tremendous groups coming out of Rachel. So Rabbi Nebenzal focused in a little bit of why Leah was destined to have such greatness come out of her. The Torah tells us that Leah's eyes were watery and teary and red. She would always be crying. Why was she crying? The rabbis tell us that everyone in the community thought that Rachel would marry Yaakov and Leah would marry the evil Esav. And because of this, Leah would be crying and crying and crying, praying to God to change her spouse, to give her a spouse who would be a righteous man and not an evil man, to give her children who would inspire the world and not become destructive forces in the world. Even after she married Yaakov, she would still continuously pray and pray and pray, to the point that the Torah goes out of its way to tell us that her eyes became red from tears. Now, what's the takeaway? The takeaway is as follows. Very often in life, we see some of our friends who get things on silver platters. Things come easy to them. Maybe it's finances. Maybe it's a shalom bayis and peace in their family. While for other people, sometimes it takes a long time for things to turn out to the best. Sometimes we pray for things, and they don't seem to be answered right away. Here's the message. When it comes to prayer, it's sometimes the people who don't get answered right away who have the greatest results later on in life. Look at Leah. For years and years she prayed, seemingly to no avail. Yet in the end of the day, it was her prayers which ended up causing all of the greatness to come out of her. And this was not seen at first. Here in 2020, we all pray for things. For some, it might be finding a marriage partner. For some, it might be for good finances. For others, it might be good health. And it might not always be that we're answered right away. But never make the mistake that God never listens. God listens to every single one of our prayers, and He stores them in a jar to use for the right time. If you don't have an answer right away, it'll come. When? That's only for God to know. But never make the mistake that God doesn't listen to our prayers. God listens very intently to every single one of our prayers and saves them in a very special spot. I wish everyone a tremendous, tremendous Shavuos, the day when we received the Torah many years ago. Please stay safe. We look forward to next Shavuos when we can all celebrate together in Shul. All the best from Elizabeth, New Jersey.